The NHL has once again screwed the Islanders, their fans, and UBS Arena. The 2026 All-Star Game that was supposed to be taking place right here in UBS Arena has officially been canceled. There will be no All-Star Game next season, and Islander fans are really frustrated at this, mostly because it feels like this is the only team that this would ever happen to. We're going to break it down on this episode of Islanders Digest and what this can mean for the New York Islanders. But before we get into that, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Be one of our first 100 subscribers. If you're an Islander fan and you want more Islanders content just like this is the channel for you, so be sure to subscribe. Now, after the Four Nations face-off, which was a huge success for the NHL, there was a lot of rumor that there would be no All-Star game simply because after that success that was the Four Nations face-off, the NHL did not want to embarrass themselves with another lackluster All-Star game. Because let's face it, as hockey fans, the last few All-Star games have been absolute snooze fest. I mean, at this point, I feel like a lot of people do not enjoy the All-Star games at all. The NHL has made a lot of changes to try to make these games a bit more interesting, and frankly, they have not worked. I honestly think the All-Star games are worse now than they were when it was just a simple game between the East and the West. Still, this was a really important event for the New York Islanders. First of all, it was a great opportunity for an Islander player or two to play in an All-Star game in their home arena, which would be a great experience. But more importantly, this was a huge opportunity for UBS Arena, a newer arena in the NHL that really wants the opportunity to showcase itself to the rest of the NHL and really fans around the world. And the All-Star game, while the viewership is not what it used to be, is a great opportunity for that. And also, it's an opportunity for fans around the league because there's a lot of travel involved with the All-Star game to check out UBS Arena for the first time. And now, according to Newsday, who spoke to the NHL commissioner, Gary Bettman, from Stefan Rosner, the All-Star game will not be hosted in 2026 because they're in UBS Arena because there will not be one. Gary Bettman dropped this like a bombshell. There will be no All-Star game. And a lot of people figured this would be the case, but this is really frustrating, especially for Islander fans who, earlier on, when the Islanders were marketing season tickets, a big part of that marketing campaign was this All-Star game, which, yes, if I bought season tickets for the New York Islanders, I would definitely be frustrated at that. Speaking of which, let me know in the comments if you're disappointed that this All-Star game is being canceled. Were you considering attending the All-Star game at UBS Arena if it was happening? I know now we know it's not happening, but was that event that you were interested in going to? Because I was actually considering. I know the All-Star game is not the most exciting event in the world, but still, you have all the greatest players in the world in one arena. It still is a lot of fun, and frankly, it's great for children. And honestly, this is another disappointing part about this being canceled the year the Islanders have it, because it would have been a great opportunity to get more young fans into hockey, something the Islanders definitely could use, and it's just disappointing that it happens this year. And I don't want to be that fan that just complains about everything. But honestly, I'm really wondering right now, does this still happen if it's another team hosting the All-Star game this year? For example, if the All-Star game was in Madison Square Garden this season, I really wonder whether the NHL would cancel it or not. I mean, I'm not trying to speculate here, maybe a little, but it just feels like this is a thing that tends to happen a lot with the Islanders, whether it be events or having less games broadcast nationally. Granted, I love the Islanders broadcast. I would love it if they had no games broadcast naturally. But still, it seems like the Islanders are just always getting the short end of the stick, especially when it comes to the potential to show off to the rest of the league. Now, Gary Bettman did mention that there will be another hockey event taking place in 2027, maybe 2028, and this is exciting a lot of people because the Four Nations tournament was great, and it would be really exciting to see one of those at UBS Arena. But we're getting concerning news here that I don't think it's necessarily going to be the case that the next hockey event takes place in UBS Arena. Now, there is notes that there will be some sort of event in UBS Arena this season for 2026, which we're going to talk about because I definitely have my concerns with that. But it's just a shame that the Islanders are not getting an All-Star game, and it really seems like the NHL is definitely going to screw them out of another event that could be really cool. I mean, how awesome would it be to have a Four Nations type tournament in New York at UBS Arena, where we could go see some of the best players play competitive hockey where they all want to win. We'll see what happens. It's not looking so good because in exchange for this All-Star weekend, one of the main reasons why this All-Star weekend is being canceled, on top of the fact that it just was not going to do well with the ratings, is the Olympics are coming up and the NHL is going to be allowing players to compete, which for fans of best on best hockey is great news. I mean, I love watching some of the best players in the world go at it at the Olympics. The Winter Olympics are so much better when hockey is at the center of attention. It's always at the center of attention, but when the best players in the world are actually playing, it's just so much better. But I do want to note what they're talking about right now in terms of UBS and the Islanders, and why I think they're definitely getting screwed and getting a rotten deal from the NHL, is Gary Bettman was talking about, we will have an event at UBS before we go to the Olympics, but then we'll do something that's more focused on a major hockey event for the following year. Now, there's no confirmation that a major hockey event will be played at UBS Arena. It's more that there's going to be this situation where there's going to be some sort of Olympic send-off event at UBS Arena where they're going to announce the next event. And I really wonder if this is the NHL's way of having some sort of event at UBS Arena while canceling the All-Star game without actually having to give the Islanders an event worth going to. Frankly, as bad as All-Star games do, I guarantee nobody is going to be interested in some lame ceremony where the NHL announces what players are going to the Olympics. Even if you're announcing the rosters, this is not going to gain a ton of attention for the arena. And the whole allure of having an All-Star game at your arena is people travel to watch the All-Star game. So you get fans of different fan bases really checking out your facilities, especially in a facility so nice as UBS Arena. It can also be really good to have players come in and really see UBS and what it's like for themselves. I mean, that could definitely, it can't hurt with free agency. I'm not saying this is a huge free agency deal breaker, but it would have been nice to have. And instead, it definitely, this is not going to be an event that fans from around the world or around the United States are going to want to come and see. It's just sounding like they're doing something just because they have to do something. And as an Islander fan, this is disappointing. It would have been cool to see an All-Star game at UBS Arena. Further on, they are talking more about the league. This is Gary Bettman talking about how he looks forward to working with the league on an event that will showcase our world-class facility, UBS Arena. It sounds like here he's just saying this because he has to say. It does not sound, at least from this press conference, that they're committed to having another event at UBS Arena. Again, we're getting that All-Star, not All-Star, sorry. We're getting that Olympics announcement event type thing. But even compared to an All-Star game, like I said before, that does not sound that appealing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Islanders actually do end up getting a really cool event at UBS Arena, or at least having UBS Arena be part of a system of arenas that host a really, really cool event. I know the Four Nations tournament wasn't all in one location. You know, there are some games in Boston, some games in Canada. Something like that could be really cool. But right now, it just seems like this is the NHL just canceling this event because realistically, none of the players wanted to do it. It seems like the NHL didn't want to do it. And the only side that really loses in this situation, because the players never want to go to the All-Star game, honestly, with the All-Star game waning in numbers, really, the NHL didn't want to host it, but it would have been beneficial to the Islanders and UBS Arena, which is why this is definitely disappointing. Again, let me know in the comments, do you think you would have gone to the All-Star game? Or are you hoping that there'll be a different event in UBS Arena other than this Olympics announcement event? Or are you interested in going to something like that? I'd love to know your thoughts about all this in the comments below. As always, if you're not already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. My name is Patrick Nilan. This is Islanders Digest. Let's go, Islanders.